Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Washington Times. Now, this was written by Jeff Murdoch and published on January 31st. I see this, and yeah, the FBI should not be able to do what they're doing here. I mean, I understand that they're trying to stop, hacking, but that doesn't give them the right to violate the Constitution and hack infected computers of innocent people. And with the scandal that happened with the StingRay units and how they were handing over things to local police departments, and then they were then using it to build a case, building back a case so that the illegally obtained information could then be admitted. I don't trust the FBI with this. There is no way, no how I would trust them with this. Inherently invasive FBI counter-hacking operations raise red flags over privacy. You think? To catch a hacker, sometimes you have to be a hacker. But when it's the FBI doing the hacking, civil liberties groups get worried. Well, yes! When they're using the StingRays to monitor people's calls and then going, oh yeah, well, you got no proof this guy's acting criminal, but here's some stuff that you can't use. Now go build yourself a case. Of course, civil liberties groups are going to get worried. Of course, people who are, individuals who believe in the Constitution and the inalienable rights that it lays out. Of course, they're going to get upset. Of course, they're going to have a problem with this. Of course, they're going to say, whoa, 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 wait a minute, there's a problem. That's kind of a given. The agency's revelation this week that it joined a computer botnet attack piggybacking on the malware signal to track its activities has raised new questions about what is acceptable in cybersecurity. The problem, the civil liberties advocates say, is the FBI collected IP addresses and ancillary information from computers it traversed as it tried to map the Jonap malware. Yeah, and what's ancillary? And the thing is with how botnets take full control, what's to stop them from exploiting the open door that they have into a computer system or through some other attack happening? Do the same, thing. Nothing. It's just their word that they're not going to go and do something like that. Yeah, okay, sure. I trust them about as far as I can throw them with my pinky and them strapped down with half a ton of lead weight. But, I digress. The powers that the FBI is using here are inherently invasive, said Andrew Crocker, a senior staff attorney at the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Directing someone's computer to do things like this gives the FBI pretty broad reign, and that is concerning. No kidding! They have carte blanche access to the computer with something like that. You don't think they're going to exploit it? You don't think they're going to look around? You don't think human curiosity is going to kick in? Seriously? The FBI and Air Force investigators obtained court orders approving the moves. They said the actions were critical to disrupting the botnet, which spawned a global network of computers infected with the Jonap malware. The malware gives hackers control of the computer, which they then can use to commit wire fraud and other crimes. Okay. That still does not give you the right to go within this computer and look at other information on it. Does not give you the right to go and violate someone else's privacy. That is their property. You did not get a warrant to gain access specifically to their property. Oh my God. Nicola T. Hanna, U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, defended the federal investigators' tactics. Well, of course Nicola would. Of course Nicola would. In California? No way, really? He said they allowed investigators to identify computers that were being infected and spreading the botnet. You can identify the computers that are spreading the botnet without physically gaining access or control, access to their system, the access to the system, and therefore control over it. You don't need to do that, which is what they were doing. Holy crap. You can track their IP address and go, oh yeah, well this one's doing it. Let's inform the provider. You don't need to go and hack the damn thing. Jesus. The warrants and court orders announced as part of our efforts to eradicate this botnet are just one of the many tools we will use to prevent cyber criminals from using botnets to stage damaging computer intrusions, he said in a statement. Yes, but you do not need to take control of said computers to figure out that they're spreading botnet, that they're being used. You can figure that out pretty damn easily without gaining control. An FBI spokeswoman declined to comment. Well, yeah, because it looks really shitty for the FBI. And they have nothing they can really say. Cybersecurity analysts say the FBI's hacking of infected computers is a double-edged sword, giving authorities a new tool to fight crime in an increasingly digital world, but also exposing sensitive and unrelated files to law enforcement. Yeah. And you let their foot in the door for stopping cybercrime, and they're going to violate your rights because they got their foot in the door. They're just going to walk right in. They're going to take whatever the hell they want. Even if you need to get this information, hacking is an awfully intrusive method to do that, said Julian Sanchez, a senior fellow at the Cato Institute. It is not ideal to re-victimize the crime victim by hacking the victim again. No, well, you think? No, what would be smart is to tell them, hey, your computer was used in a crime. Do you mind if we, take a look at it? I'm sure if you went about it that way, you'd be able to find people that'd be willing to let you look at their computer. Those people who find out after the fact are probably never going to let you do it. Again, they're going to be like, no, wait a minute. So if you ever were to need their help, they'd probably tell you to go screw yourself. If you do it like that, the way you're doing at FBI. Federal investigators claimed authority to piggyback on the botnet from a 2016 change to an obscure federal crime procedure statute known as Rule 41. The change allows the government to use hacking software on computers to gain evidence. Yes, the intent of that law was to use it on actual physical fucking computers that the criminals are using, that they possess, not the victims of cybercrime. Oh my God. You have no right to violate their constitutional rights to go after someone else. It does not work like that. Rule 41 has largely been used in financial crime and child pornography cases in which criminals are using devices to mask their computer's IP addresses. Federal investigators need only permission from a judge to obtain the search warrant. At the time, the Obama administration promised that the changes would be employed only in narrow circumstances. Yeah, real freaking narrow here. Since then, some lawmakers on Capitol Hill have questioned the expansion. They worry about federal investigators judge shopping to find friendly courts willing to sign warrants and question what steps the government would take to alert people that it had hacked their computers. Yes, exactly. They're not going to admit it. They're just going to hack their computers. And if they happen to stumble across something that's criminal, they're just going to do the same thing that happened with the StingRays. They're going to build a case from their back and play stupid, and then have that evidence admitted. That's what's going to happen, because that's what they did with the StingRays. If they did it there, they'll do it here. It really is that simple. In a 2016 reply to lawmakers, the Justice Department said that while taking control of computers to have them send back a unique signal to calculate the size of a botnet might be legal, searching related private files would not. No shit! Yet, the FBI took illegally recorded phone calls with StingRay units and handed them over to local police departments, and even themselves used them to build cases backwards. Oh my God. So they don't care about the legality. The FBI it's riddled with a cancer. They're not a legit law enforcement agency anymore. I mean, at least when Hoover ran the shit, when J. Edgar Hoover ran it, they at least had some semblance of following the law. And he actually busted criminals that they didn't create, that they actually found. Because today they create criminals to justify their fucking existence. Oh, God. The department said it would take reasonable, in quotes, steps to alert innocent computer owners affected by a Rule 41 warrant, but it didn't lay out a specific path for doing so. Well, of course, they're not going to say shit. They're not going to say a damn word. The Justice Department said this week that it will notify affected users of its JONEP actions through their internet service providers and through personal notifications to computers not behind a router or firewall. So they're literally going to hack the person's computer to pop up a personal notification on it that said, we hacked your computer. If it's not behind a router or a firewall. Because that's what they're saying right there. Oh, not to add insult to injury, but we're going to hack you again to have your Windows machine pop up a notification that said that we hacked your machine. Holy shit, because that's what they would have to do with that. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That is some funny, funny shit. They just literally admitted that they're going to hack the computers again to pop up notifications that said, we hacked your computer. Oof. That is an oomph. That is an oomph. That is an oof. Oof. However you want to do it, but you know what I mean. Authorities blame North Korean hackers for the botnet. Sure, okay. Like they have 100% proof or anything like that, but yeah. Last year, the Justice Department filed charges against Park Jin-hyuk, a North Korean national who was accused of leading the 2014 state-sponsored hack of Sony Pictures Entertainment. Huh. Okay. I love how you're just linking this here with like no actual, yeah. Just, we'll throw this in singularly unrelated information and to make it look like it's related, but okay. Although accessing citizens' computers without their consent or knowledge is murky, it doesn't violate the Constitution, Mr. Sanchez said. What? Excuse me. My computer is my property. It is part of, and therefore it is an extension of my person. You cannot access a citizen's computer, a person's computer in this country. You cannot violate a person, you know, without a warrant. You cannot violate their home and just search it. It clearly does violate the Constitution, Sanchez, you dumb shit. Oh my God. There is nothing in the privacy laws that says a search warrant can only be executed on a criminal, he said. A search warrant has to be looking for evidence of a crime, but it doesn't say anything about the place being searched has to be owned by a criminal. Now that is just trying to be a little bit freaking sleazy. Because in order to get a warrant on a piece of property, you have to have enough. All right, this is what gets me is you have to have evidence to actually get a warrant to say, look at someone's property. So there would have to be substantial evidence for a warrant to be issued for someone's house that's not related to a criminal, that is not owned by a criminal, to be searched. There would have to be. Yet, you're trying to play this down. This is so screwed up. Even before Rule 41 was modified, the government was hacking private computers. In a child porn investigation, authorities used a search warrant to hack more than 8,000 computers and build cases against more than 200 defendants. But in some cases, the evidence was tossed when judges declared the warrants invalid. Now, I love this one. They pull out the kid diddlers. See, this is what's funny. Oh, well, they did it with kid diddlers. Yes, but you're talking about them doing it with average citizens. And they actually had warrants to an extent. See, they actually had some of these warrants stick because they were actual valid warrants. But in other cases, they weren't. I mean, that's what that's saying in that paragraph to me. Alan Butler, senior counsel at the Electronic Privacy Information Center, said the Justice Department would be on firm legal ground if it sought approval from Congress for the powers in Rule 41. No, sorry. Constitution is the highest law in the land. It doesn't matter if Congress says they could suck dick. Okay, well, illegally recording someone. They couldn't do it. I mean, they could suck the dick, but they couldn't illegally record someone. Ask the government as a representative of it. If the Justice Department had gone to Congress and asked for explicit statutory authority, what would have come out of that is a nuanced, detailed set of rules, but they pushed this through the Rules Committee, a more favorable venue, he said. Constitution's still the highest law in the land. If it violates their right to privacy, their constitutional rights, yeah, sorry, it's still not constitutional. That doesn't mean it's going to be constitutional. It means it's unconstitutional. For now, analysts say courts will have to serve as protection against over-intrusive hacking by the government. Well, I would think that people should work towards stopping them themselves as well. That would probably be a good idea. But, hey, whatever. I mean, you'd be able to do whatever you got to do whatever you got to do to stop shit like this. Because they're going to abuse it. They're going to do it like the StingRays. Like I've already said, they're going to use those type of situations where they're going through and whatever they happen to stumble upon is whatever they happen to stumble upon. That's how they're going to look at it. And then they'll build a case from their back. I think it's reassuring and heartening to see the court putting narrow limits on the FBI and the type of information they are collecting, he said. Yeah, I would like to see them really limit the FBI on what they can collect, but okay. Others say it's uncharted territory and raises too many questions for the courts to handle on their own. No. The Constitution, even though it was written over 200 years ago, it's pretty friggin' clear. I mean, it can be interpreted in the digital age and apply without a problem. Really can. Congress has to assert its oversight, Mr. Butler said. The courts have little control because these are not questions that the traditional warrant application process was designed to answer. Bullshit. Bullshit. If you're going to violate someone's personal inalienable rights, their constitutional rights, to go after criminals, it's pretty clear in the Constitution. You cannot do that. All right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's not a do not pass go. Well, there's not a, you're not going to pass go. You're not going to collect $200. The Constitution says you can't. But see, that's one thing that they don't want to admit, that the Constitution protects the innocent victim from having the government in trying to go and get someone else in a crime, violate your rights. They can't do it, but they want to. This is freaking scary that the FBI and the federal government think that they can do this, that they can violate someone else's constitutional rights in trying to fight cybercrime from a third party. It's delusional. It truly is. I mean, just think about it. They're not going to stop there. They're literally going to, they get their foot in the door. All right. They're going to force their way in and they're going to look around and they're going to take whatever they want. And if they have to build a case from their back to go after you, if they want to go after you, they will go after you. They don't care about that. And there'll be no way of knowing that that's what they did, because that's what happened with a lot of these, with the StingRay. A lot of things that the FBI handed over, that happened. And there was no way to prove it happened. And people didn't know what even happened. They didn't know that they were, doing their illegal shit regardless of legality, you know, I don't care. They were doing their illegal shit, you know, because I'm just saying what happened. They were doing their illegal shit, and they just happened to have cops stumble upon it when they were literally given a tip by the FBI, and the cops built the case the other way around, you know, ass backwards on them. But whatever. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.